I want to talk about an agricultural-related theft ring that we have dismantled through a multi-month investigation. In the early part of March of 2024, the Sheriff's Office was alerted to a theft of a backhoe, heavy equipment, in the area of Avenue 8 and Road 176. This was near Delano. 5 days later, the LoJack alerted detectives that the stolen backhoe was at a truck stop in the city of Tulare. The backhoe was hidden in the back of a semi-truck. Now that's uncharacteristic of how you transport heavy equipment up and down the roadways, as many of us have seen. It's an open carry. This was inside a semi-truck. And alongside the stolen backhoe was yet a second backhoe and an excavator, all of which were reported missing out of Kings County. And I would like to say that Kings County Sheriff Dave Robinson couldn't be here today, but we'll be thanking him and all of his investigators in Kings County. Those truck drivers, who quickly became suspects, began informing detectives and providing multiple tips in regards to hauling stolen equipment all up and down the central San Joaquin Valley, only to be taken across our open border into Mexico. On April 22nd of 2024, ag detectives received a be on the lookout alert from Stanislaus County, pinpointing 2 additional suspects connected to the ongoing theft operation of heavy equipment, heavy agricultural equipment. Following this briefing with Stanislaus County, investigators and ag detectives confirmed the identities of these suspects, which continued the investigation. By June, this investigation had escalated to the point where we were discovering heavy equipment being stolen up and down the central San Joaquin Valley, agricultural-related heavy equipment. There was the discovery of 2 loaders up in Camp Nelson that led detectives into the area of Hollister. This development resulted in the identification of yet an additional 2 suspects. Now we're quickly understanding that we have an agricultural theft ring. Over the course of several months, ag detectives working alongside a number of surrounding law enforcement agencies, which you'll hear speak here momentarily, have conducted extensive surveillance operations throughout the central San Joaquin Valley, collecting extensive surveillance as well as substantial evidence, which led to and accounted for more than $2.25 million of a stolen equipment. Now we're happy to report that about $1.3 million of that equipment has been successfully recovered. That's about 24 large, heavy equipment, agricultural tractors, backhoes, and such. All of these findings suggest and have led us to a very sophisticated network of thieves trafficking heavy agricultural machinery as an organized criminal activity with implications far beyond the Central Valley and into and across the border into Mexico. Now this is just another sign that we have an open and unsecured border with, as you'll hear, implications of a cartel being involved with the theft of agricultural equipment to be taken into Mexico. We also have information that many of these drivers have received assistance in circumventing any security checks along the current border, of which we're working very closely with Border Patrol and Homeland Security. What we're talking about here is millions and millions of dollars worth of heavy agricultural equipment that has impacted not only our farmers, but really those going to the store to buy food. Illegally hauled equipment over into Mexico, we have tracking systems that have led and have seen this equipment moving about in Mexico, but yet we don't have it coming back into the United States. This is equipment that is lost and pretty much gone forever. What we want to report is early this morning, detectives and surrounding agencies conducted 6 separate search warrants in the city of Los Banos, Hollister, Riverdale, and Lindsay. After the homes were cleared, detectives through searching collected more stolen equipment, more trailers, tractors, cell phones, computers, and surveillance cameras. As of this morning, 4 more arrests were made, and we will provide you those names so that you can have them. Noe Guevara, 30 years old from Los Banos. Joel Avila, 43 out of Hollister. Israel Cortez, 32 out of Lindsay. And Nicholas Cruz, 24 out of Salinas. Property recovered this morning were 3 stolen trailers, 1 out of Tehachapi, 1 out of Los Banos, and the third one we're still trying to identify as most of the markings have been removed. There was also a stolen generator out of Reedley and $46,000 in cash. Drugs and guns were recovered this morning. 2 truck bed loads of marijuana, 2 handguns, 2 rifles, and 3 shotguns. Every one of the suspects within this ring will be facing grand theft, conspiracy to commit a crime, receiving stolen property. Of the border crossing history, we find very interesting that 3 of our suspects have significant border crossing history. Ivan Garcia, who as of this morning, as I understand, is still outstanding, was caught trafficking drugs across the border in 2022. Marco Alvarez Medrano is a Mexican national, still outstanding, owns a trucking company in Mexico, and he has been flagged by U.S. Border Patrol and U.S. Customs for trafficking drugs for La Línea cartel. Francisco Javier Diaz, 33, was arrested last Tuesday by the sheriff's office, and in this month alone, he was flagged crossing the border 23 separate times, with more than 500 crossings in the last 2 years. As of this morning, 75 law enforcement personnel from the Tulare County Sheriff's Office, Merced County Sheriff's Office, Fresno County Sheriff's Office, and Kings County Sheriff's Office, as well as Gilroy Police Department, Kingsburg Police Department, District Attorney's Office, and multiple law enforcement agencies, which we'll provide you so that you will see. In conclusion, this operation is ongoing, as fluid as even as we speak right now. As I'm told prior to walking in here, we have additional information in regards to drugs and guns and additional stolen property. This is a large-scale theft ring impacting our farmers, our ranchers, and our agricultural community. So right now, I would like to turn it over to my colleague, Merced County Sheriff Vern Warnke. Sheriff?
Thank you, Sheriff. Merced County's agricultural population is crucial. Folks, we're talking about the literal bread and butter of the nation in this valley. And about a year ago, I received information through our ag investigators that the cartel that's being spoke of, and probably others, are into the agricultural business in Mexico, specifically avocados. Folks, when we go to the grocery store now, we've got to remember what we're doing is the prices are going to continue to go up. Not only have the cartels been human trafficking, narcotics, and guns, it's now hitting our agriculture community where everybody in here likes to go to the store and grab something to eat. It's that important that we start paying attention to what's going on in our ag community. And myself as Sheriff of Merced County, along with Fresno and Tulare and Kings, our commitment is to our agricultural community. I've got Chief Deputy DA from Merced County District Attorney's Office here to let you know that we are definitely, every time we make an arrest, we're going to go after and we're going to prosecute to the fullest. Granted, this is not one of the sexy crimes that media likes to talk about, but it sure impacts every person in this nation when we're talking about the agricultural impacts of this stolen equipment, to include construction equipment and construction materials. We start talking about the prices that we're dealing with. It's a direct result of the thefts and the, I'll just call it the carnage that they're causing us as far as our way of life and our quality of life. We're really paying attention. We've got investigators working together throughout this state. and we will not stop. I'm going to turn it over to Sheriff John Zanoni from Fresno County.
Thank you, Sheriff Warnke. I want to point out that today we're conducting an investigation and arrest of a complex organized ring of thieves who are stealing from farmers, they're stealing from truckers, from our construction industry across the valley. One thing, as you will know by this investigation, these criminals, they don't worry about our county or city jurisdictions. In this case, in fact, they transported stolen equipment and property across the border into Mexico. During this investigation, crimes occurred in Stanislaus, Merced, Fresno, San Benito, Kings, and Tulare County. So that just goes to show you how far their network goes out into this type of criminal activity. I believe this case is a great example of all of our law enforcement partners, all of our county sheriffs, our city police departments, working together to ensure that we make arrests, that we recover stolen property, and we try to hold these individuals accountable for their crimes. A lot of times in the ag community, we hear a tractor stolen, a forklift stolen. People put GPS on these devices, but these criminals know how to take the GPS off and how to make them untrackable. We are working hard and doing our very best to ensure that we can provide security for our farmers in our agricultural industry. As it's been said, the Central San Joaquin Valley is the breadbasket of the world. We feed the world. And as law enforcement, we have to do our job and ensure that we can arrest individuals like this to ensure they're not out stealing from our farmers, making things cost more, and making it almost impossible for our farmers and ranchers and those in the agriculture industry to do their jobs. When you look back, not only do we have illegal, dangerous drugs like fentanyl, weapons and guns and firearms, and human trafficking coming across the border, but now you have stolen property from right here in our own backyard being taken down to Mexico to never be seen again. In one of the comments by Sheriff Boudreau, we talked about an individual who's involved in this criminal activity who's been across the border 23 times. It's no surprise that an open border policy is allowing criminal activity to occur here in the United States, in the state of California, and right here in the Central San Joaquin Valley. And those things that I just said, illegal dangerous drugs, weapons and guns, people that are being human trafficked, are just a couple of the things. And now you have all this theft and stolen property that is having a direct impact on all of us right here. So I really think when we vote people into office and we look to Sacramento and we look to Washington, D.C., we need to ensure that we support and elect those individuals who are concerned about our safety, about our well-being, our children, and our daily lives. So with that, I just want to say is that I'm proud to be here today, proud to be part of this operation, and I want to thank Sheriff Boudreau from Tulare County for hosting this press conference and getting the word out and being the lead on this investigation.
Hi, I'm Monty Torres with Fox 26 News on YouTube. Thank you for checking out our YouTube channel, where we have loads of great content for you to choose from. And while you're here, why not click on the subscribe button right here? That way you can stay in touch with all the latest breaking news, everything news related within the Central Valley. And thank you for watching.